This week on Outdoor Oklahoma, we sit down with some game wardens to address some frequently asked questions about regulations. Then it's off to Lake Eufaula for a little duck hunting action. From the Oklahoma Department of Wildlife Conservation, Outdoor Oklahoma. Well, hello and welcome to Outdoor Oklahoma. I'm Todd Craighead. You know, our game wardens on a daily basis get asked a lot of questions about hunting and fishing regulations, and oftentimes it's the same subjects that keep coming up time and again. So today we're actually going to sit down with a few of our game wardens and address some of these most often commonly asked questions that they get. To start us out with, one topic that comes up a lot this time of year is, what if I shoot a deer and it goes onto my neighbor's property? Am I allowed to go retrieve that deer? Let's hear what our wardens have to say about that.
One of the questions we often get during deer season is, whenever I shoot a deer and it runs onto my neighbor's property, can I go over and retrieve that deer? No, you cannot. You must have landowner's permission to enter that property.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, I'm Jerry Starkey.
I'm Kelly.
I got a deer lease down there on Dr. Myers' land. It's out south of your property down there.
Yeah.
And I shot a deer, and it took off, went a few hundred yards, and I think it jumped the fence, went over on your land. And I just wonder if I could get permission.
All right, is it back over there along the creek?
Yeah,
Back over there.
exactly.
All right, well, let's get in my truck and we'll drive over there and look at it and see if it is actually on my property or not.
All right, sounds good. I was hunting right over on this side over here, and my tree stands back off over in that way over there. Go over here, I'll show you where you cross the road at. Now my tree stand is, like I say, it's back over there, and there's some hair on the fence right here, and you can see the blood there and there. We can go on, but there's some deer hair.
Okay.
So he probably went up there. There's blood right there. There's the blood. There it is right there.
Good job.
All right, man. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Yeah.
If for some reason you've not been able to get in touch with your neighbor, what should you do? best thing to do is contact your area game warden and let them know what's going on. Many times the game warden knows the neighbor and will make contact with them, and we can go and retrieve the deer that way.
State Game Warden, this is Travis.
Hey, this is Jerry Starkey. Hey, I've got a deer lease on Dr. Myers' land. I shot a doe a while ago, and it jumped over to the adjacent landowner's property, and I can't find anybody home. And I was wondering if you might be able to advise me or assist me.
So you've got a good blood trail going to the fence?
Yeah, I got a good blood trail, and you can see, right where I shot it, and it went a few hundred yards and hopped the fence.
Okay, and you say you're at the...
I'm at what I think to be the landowner's house right now, and like I say, nobody's home. Okay, I'm on my way.
Nice to meet you. Well, it took me some doing, but I was able to get permission from the landowner, and so he said that it's okay if I accompany you and we go out and recover your deer.
Good deal. Yeah, I can show you right where I shot it at.
All right, sounds good. If you want to jump in your vehicle, I'll follow you out there.
All right, thanks. My tree stand's a couple hundred yards down that way.
Okay.
You can go right here, I'll show you. There's blood here and blood there. I don't know if you can see that blood right here, but anyway, however far you want to go down and kind of backtrack if you want.
Okay, so we've got blood here.
Yeah. And,
Let's go ahead and just take it up to the fence. Show me where we crossed the fence at.
Okay. Yeah, it went across. There's some blood, and there's blood right there. It's got to be in there somewhere in that woods or down over there. There's some hair, and you can see the blood right over there too.
You got it. All right, let's go get it.
Cool. There it is right there.
There he is.
Yep.
Hey,
Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Now I better get my tag on her. Deal here. Well, I sure appreciate it.
Hey,
Glad that landowner.
Glad I could help.
Yeah, glad he gave us permission to do this.
Good thing to do is before the season to get out and to know and to meet your neighbors so that you can have a good relationship with them and have it worked out before season, that if you do need to go over, that you can go over and retrieve the deer, or simply to call them and let them know that you're going to be there.
For decades, after harvesting a deer, you actually had to take it into a physical check station. But now that we no longer do it this way and the whole process is now completely electronic, the question often comes up, how long do I have to e-check my deer after I've harvested it?
One of the common questions I get during hunting season is how long do I have to e-check the deer once I've harvested the animal? And what I tell people is you have 24 hours once you leave your hunt area in order to check your deer in. Say you're at a deer camp and you're camping for 2 or 3 days, and the first day of your hunt you harvest your deer. Well, you're actually still in your hunt area. A lot of people do actually have cell phone service or Wi-Fi service in their hunt area, and a lot of times they immediately check that deer in. Just as a tip, every open library in the state has public access to the internet. So you can also check your deer in that way if you can't get service or if you don't have access to Wi-Fi service.
So how easy is e-checking a deer? Well, it's simple as 1, 2, 3. First, go to wildlifedepartment.com. From the home page, click on the online check station icon. Then fill in the fields and hit next. On the next screen, select the location where you made your harvest by either clicking on the map or typing in the location number. Next, fill out your personal information and the harvest data. Then click Submit Form. Now you'll be given a confirmation number that needs to either be printed out, or if you don't have a printer, simply write it onto your field tag. E-checking is only for deer, turkey, and elk. Bear and antelope still have to be taken into a check station. Our next question is popular with landowners wanting to know, how do they properly post their property?
One of the common questions we get this time of the year is how do I post my land to keep hunters off my property? By state law, the property must be posted, which we interpret to mean that at each corner post and points of entry that we must put a keep out or a posted sign. Also, if the land is occupied, you must have permission to enter that property.
Now keep in mind that permission from a landowner is good for up to 1 year. Now, the vast majority of hunters are law-abiding, but unfortunately, as with anything in life, there's always a few bad apples. Unfortunately, there's a few people that want to break the law and poach by road hunting for deer. Now, our game wardens have a very effective tool for this. It's the decoy deer, sometimes called the dummy deer. The question often comes up from landowners wanting to know how they can have the decoy deer used on their property.
Okay guys, we got a vehicle northbound. It's a Chevy extended cab.
Z71 northbound, stand by. Okay, vehicle's got 2 occupants, both in camouflage.
Yeah, man, I hope we get a big one. There should be a big one around here. I heard about it.
I was down here the other day scoping it out and saw it.
Yeah. Yeah.
There he is. There he is. Get your gun. Okay, we got a shooter. We got a shooter.
Okay, one of the questions I get this time of year is, how do I get the dummy deer to run on my property? What happens a lot of times is we have roads where people are driving up and down the roadway, people are in their deer stands, they see the cars drive back and forth, and they know they're road hunting. We get lots of calls about that. Basically what I tell people is, I'm going to have to come out, take a look at your property. I'm going to have to see if it's even, a place where we can actually run the dummy deer. And if it is, we'll make a schedule. We'll make sure that there's nobody on the property hunting in case there is a shot taken. That way that won't put anybody in harm's way. Unfortunately, we can't run the decoy deer everywhere that we'd like to due to time and manpower constraints. So we try to run the decoy in the areas of the highest activity where we are actually getting the most calls from landowners.
Well, we hope that addressing some of these topics helps you. And in the future, we plan to do more of these Ask a Warden segments. Coming up next, we're headed to Lake Eufaula to do a little duck hunting, right after this week's Outdoor News Report. Partnerships with other organizations and agencies are an important way that we get a lot of our wetland and waterfowl projects done here at the Wildlife Department. And what better way to spotlight a couple of these projects than on a duck hunt?
There you go in. All right.
Oklahoma is actually sort of a best kept secret of duck hunting in a lot of cases. There's about 14,000 people that duck hunt in Oklahoma in a given year, and most of them don't want us to talk about what the good duck hunting is in Oklahoma. There's a lot of opportunity here for sportsmen, both on public lands and private lands, and it's pretty good hunting most of the time. There you go.
To me, I think the biggest thrill I get out of duck hunting is just knowing that we are here in Oklahoma particularly providing that needed habitat for that migration as they move north and south during migration periods. I just like being out. I don't have to shoot a duck to have a good duck hunt. Seeing all the wildlife out there early in the morning in the shallow water habitat, which is much more diverse than open water, and that's to me the biggest thrill of the duck hunt.
Our goal is to put habitat on the ground for waterfowl. And so what we do is we'll take a philanthropic dollar, a gift from a supporter of DU, and we'll leverage it with partners like the ODWC and the NRCS and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and various other foundations and agencies, so that $1 becomes matched 4 or 5 times through partnership efforts. And that way, things that ODWC can't afford to get done or NRCS doesn't have the manpower expertise to get done, we can all work together to accomplish for the resource what we need to get done to ensure that the wetlands are here and they're healthy and they're offering what the waterfowl need when they come through. The
purpose of the Wetland Reserve Program in Oklahoma began in 1996, and it was to restore the functions and values of former wetlands that have been degraded, restore that hydrology to provide that wetland habitat again, and to provide habitat for migratory species and locally dependent species.
Hunting with ODWC and NRCS staff this morning was awesome. It's a very fitting sort of representation of the partnership that we've had for a lot of years in accomplishing good things for the resource. And it was really nice to be able to reap the benefits of some of those accomplishments this morning. Pretty good morning, huh, guys?
Excellent. It was. So what did you think of your first duck hunt here in Oklahoma?
I thought it was pretty good. It's a beautiful sunrise and decent duck action. And
we saw some ducks. We didn't actually shoot all of them that we could have, but you know, that's right. Good enough too. But you know, we definitely appreciate you coming in, and boy, we hope that we see you again here.
Oh, definitely. Anytime you invite me back.
And guys, we really appreciate the partnership that we have with both organizations.
Absolutely.
It helps us to do what we can for the sportsmen, and it's just important what we can do for the ducks.
That's it. That's it.
What do you say we go have some lunch?
You bet.
Definitely.
Hey, thanks for joining us today. For all of us at your Wildlife Department, I'm Todd Craighead, and we'll see you right here next time on Outdoor Oklahoma.